Hi, Camilla Bukta here. Just wanted to share a little bit about who I am, where I come from, and what my channel is about. So, I'm 42 years old. I am a mom of 3 girls. I am divorced, been divorced of 2 years, was married for 17 years. I was an Air Force wife for the majority of my marriage. I was born and raised in Colorado, so I'm a Colorado native, and I'm actually back living in Colorado right now. I left here 20 years ago and have since returned back, so it feels really good to be home. And really the main catalyst for me in my journey was about 3 years ago. And I had a pretty significant event. I call it a deprogramming event in my journey. It was very unexpected and very sudden and also very gentle at the same time. It was this particular programming box, I call them boxes of religion. And I essentially just one day, it was like I'd been living in this religion box and I just kind of stood up and stepped out of it. And so in the last 3 years, I've been in the journey, in the process of reestablishing my relationship with God. What does that look like? What do I believe? What is truth? What aligns for me as truth? And what does not align? And really standing in that. But also what happened shortly after that was my husband and I separated and divorced a year later. And then I had a year of living in California. Just, recently I kind of looked back, which was last year. I looked back on that season and I smile and it was a very expensive season. It was at the time felt lost. But when I look back on it now, this is just the beauty of timeline traveling, which is one of my modalities I'll share about here in a second, is looking back and it was just a season of holding. It was a season of just, let's take a minute. I was 24 years old when I got married, 25 when I had my first baby, started my family pretty soon. The military life was not the type of life that my particular personality would necessarily thrive in, yet I owned it and showed up for it. And I'm super proud of my journey and everything that I've been through. And I'm proud of my ex-husband and all of it. It was just something that I could no longer fit into. And that's a whole other story. I also am a divorce coach. So one of the things that I learned in my personal divorce, I learned things that no one had ever talked about before. And I believe that no one ever talked about them before because no one ever thought about it before. And so one of the things in particular that I discovered, well, actually, I don't want to get off on that tangent because that might not be something that everyone's interested in. I'll do separate videos based on the different things that are I don't even really like to say expertise, but my callings, really. I got to experience very specific things in my life up until now, which are directly related to my calling and what I get to support, facilitate, guide, and love people through similar experiences. So the healing journey being one of them. One of the things that I discovered is in this particular lifetime, my soul came here to experience very deep healing. Healing on a level that can heal generations and lifetime experiences. And, I really didn't even discover that until a month or so ago. Maybe it was even a couple weeks ago, but then I also feel like I've known it all along, there's layers of knowing, right? And, moved home last summer and got my own place and just was launched into this couple month season of intense healing, it really intense healing and laser focused, deeply committed. But it was on such a spiritual level that it almost felt like I didn't choose it. It was just like the essence of who I am. It's what I got to go through. It's how I got to reprocess my life, not relive it, but reprocess it from a state of and an intention and an energy of healing and extracting the wisdom to then integrate it. And so a couple things. One of the things that one of my modalities. I call it timeline traveling. So I'll do a separate video explaining what that is, but it's basically I facilitate, guide, support, love you through traveling on your own timeline. So it's time traveling on the timeline of your life. And this generally this is the foundation of being able to access other lifetimes. And what I've discovered is you really get to get the feel for the quantum field, your 3D reality, as you are moving along your timeline of this current lifetime, the one that you're experiencing right now. So another thing I'll say too, I don't want to say that sometimes I feel like I want to say like, I don't believe that time is real. Time is real. It's its own dimension. But there's also something about it that's like how we experience time, how we choose to experience time is not really what it is meant to be, which is like the day-to-day, the 24-hour, the clock in, the clock out, I got to wake up at this time, setting alarms, right? It's like, it's more of this masculine energy versus living in flow and being like divinely guided through time. So I believe that all things are happening at once, all lifetimes, all experiences, it is all happening at the same time. And I've done, well, first of all, just in my own experiences, but even beyond my own experiences, I've had done some research on this as well. And again, like look into your own, this is another thing that I support people in is being able to see what your belief systems are. Your beliefs are creating your reality. And if you don't know what you believe, then you're experiencing this like unconscious life of belief looping. And oftentimes our beliefs are rooted in religion, societal, cultural constructs, politics. It's that very rigid type of energy. And so anyways, so timeline traveling is one of my things that I offer. I've led many clients through that, and it is such an incredible experience. But what timeline travel will do and how it is an incredible foundation to have going into the S-Axis, which is the Lifetimes Access course, where you can access many different lifetimes. And again, they're all happening at once. And so it's all about the current version of yourself. What is the frequency that's running right now? It will then ping this other version of yourself in another lifetime that is having that exact same experience. However, what's so fascinating is it's the fear of whatever it is that's running right now that is pinging that lifetime experience that's actually experiencing it. And so when you can access that actual experience, you can gain the emotional wisdom, the experience of that lifetime without actually experiencing it in this lifetime. Incredibly powerful. So I have a playlist where I'll be sharing my personal testimonies there. And so yeah, I am excited to bring my stories, my journey to the world and everything. I also am a master breakthrough coach, master transformational leadership coach. So I work in the leadership realm. As much as I am fully alive and passionate and in free flow in the spiritual realm, I love being in like the matrix aspect of leadership and in corporate spaces and team and things like that. I've had some incredible experiences in working within the world in that particular realm as far as leadership goes. And being a master breakthrough coach, I can very quickly, very easily identify what is holding you back. But I will never tell you what it is because it's your journey to find that out for yourself, because you get to be empowered in your own journey, your own experience, your own knowledge of yourself. And so I support you in discovering what that is. And then we work within your actual life to break through whatever it is that's holding you back. Another gift that I have is I am a grid healer. So one of the things that I've discovered through timeline travel is the ability to heal the grid of my life. And this could be, again, many lifetimes experiences. Like I said, I moved home just a couple months ago, and I didn't really quite know why I moved back. It was more of like I just was feeling kind of called back, and it felt very aligned. And I got lots of flashes of living here. I didn't want to move home, after 20 years. But I have friends here, family here, support here, so it also made sense in that level as well. But as I've gone through lots of timeline traveling, accessing other lifetimes, and healing my grid, this was something that I discovered about myself, is the power to heal the grid of your own life. And these are literal geographical locations. So I'll share more videos on that. So anyways, just getting started here. And thank you for stopping by, subscribing, whatever it is you're supposed to do over here on YouTube. I know that my content, my story, my experience, my life is going to reach whoever it is meant to. So I trust that. And I think thankful that you're here and you listen to all this. I'm also a talker, so I'm 11 minutes on an intro video. Thank you for listening.